What's up, everybody? This is the Oklahoma Prepper, and today I'm going to talk about my new shed to house. Details about cost, why, and what I plan to get out of this situation, out of the experience. So stick around. I hope you guys enjoy this video. First of all, my buddy from Plant-Based Outdoors, my buddy Kyle, sent me a message earlier. Actually commented on my my reveal video, asking, where, how much, and a few other questions. I don't know. I had to look at it and see, but so I wanted to address a few potential questions and give you a little bit of detail as to where I got it and stuff. So first of all, I was looking through Facebook one day and on the market side, and I saw a ad in Marketplace for it was a Christmas kind of a promotion that they had where you could get a 12-foot wide or 100-foot. The promotion was for 12 wide or 10 wide buildings, not 100. I apologize. 12 or 10 wide buildings, and the promotion was a 10-foot wide was no down payment, and a 12-foot wide was $100 down payment. So immediately I looked and started looking, doing a lot of research into the company and the brand, as well as doing some other research on some other ones. And the thought was always there, that I wanted to do this, but the reality is, well, cost, how easy is it going to be to get one? I bought a car a while back, and the process of getting it financed and everything took 8 hours, and that was really what I did not want to go through and have to deal with. So I just never did it. I'd see these little shed lots on the sides of highways going through certain towns, and then I would stop in and just take a look at them and just kind of look around and say, oh yeah, I'd love to have this. This is what I would do if I had one. And then finally, the opportunity come around and some more detail come out saying that, showing how easy it really is. So I wanted to address a couple of things on that subject. So first of all, Plant-Based Outdoors says, hey, I'd like to have some more details if you don't mind, like who built it, the cost, etc. If you can answer here or on private, or whichever you prefer, or maybe do another video on those details. I'm doing the video. Actually, Kyle, I wasn't planning on doing this video. I was planning on doing this video since yesterday, but I did do a video earlier, recording of the detail, just a little tour of it. So I will probably add that tomorrow because I don't want to bombard everybody on videos all in one day. So I'll probably put that that tour of that video in tomorrow's upload. So first of all, who built it? Well, there's two names on the inside on a placard. It tells you who built it. So there's your answer. Now, okay. So the company is called Premier Portable Buildings. I'm not going to try to go into too much details to like the address, my address, stuff like that, which it's actually not on here. I specifically got this one from a dealership in a town called Henrietta, Texas, and for the dealership is actually called Henrietta Building Sales. So if you guys want to check that out on Facebook, I will actually leave a link in the description for that. So you guys check that out and just kind of look around and look at some of the stuff. Every once in a while they'll post videos of what some people have done with their premier building, with their shed, and kind of give, a lot of people are actually doing the shed to house thing. So premier building sales in Henrietta, Texas is what who built it. The cost for this particular one, I got with a 10% off discount. The cost for this particular one is, and I have a price sheet right here. I will try to get a picture of it and upload it to my Facebook account. And Kyle, I will send you these in a picture message through email or something. My urethane lofted barn cabin, 12 foot by 32 for 12 foot by 32 is $7,895. The rent-to-own cost is for 36 months, $370.51, or 48 month for $333.96. As soon as it got here yesterday, I saw it coming down the road, and I thought, wow, that's big. It's way bigger than I thought it would. As far as the total cost goes, let me pull this little piece of paper out that my dealer made for me the other day when we went to look at it. So as far as the cost goes, it's pretty much basic. I mean, it didn't come with any bells or whistles at all. The only thing that it was a custom build. The only thing that I requested was the door be placed on the opposite side of where it normally is, because of the placement where we put it and the access to it. My 48-month payment is $347.77. And what really sold me on this is the insurance that is provided for with this these sheds. Now the insurance is, let me see if I can find it. It is very, very inexpensive. It's like $2 or $3 a month, and it's added to your monthly payment. So $5. Okay, here's my my insurance. It's called the 5-year Assurance Plus. The cash cost for this is $220. So I could give them $220 and it would be covered for 5 years. Since I am going with the payment plan, just the addition onto the cost of the building, the payment is $5 for 48 months. So that is a very, very inexpensive peace of mind, and it is something that I absolutely love. That if something happens with everything that's in my house, I'm not really, I can get furniture. In fact, I haven't even gotten furniture for it yet. I've just got what I have here in the house, which eventually will be tore down. That's what really sold me on it, is if something happens to the house, if there's a fire, which there is, as we go along, I will explain to you what we're going to do. Once we get to the stage where we're going to put electrical in there, I will explain to you how we do it, how I'm going to do it, why I'm going to do it, and you'll see that there is no physical possibility. I mean, just a slight margin of a possibility for the if there is a fire, it would be something that would be the cause of me not wiring something correctly, or something like that. if there is a fire, it would be a very slim chance that it would be caused by electrical work, the way I'm going to install this building. So, that $5 a month, it kind of seems like it's useless because I know it's not going to burn down as long as I'm running electricity to it, or if I decide to run electricity to it, because the option of going and staying off grid is still there. So that is something that's still on my mind. And a couple other things that I want to touch base on is, why did I choose this company? Why did I choose Premier? Well, as you've seen, if you guys want to look up the urethane product, you can. Basically what it is I wouldn't really say it's a sealer. It's not like a Thompson's water seal, but it is more of a shellac, I guess. It causes, it's non-absorbent, so water doesn't get absorbed into the paint or into the material. So therefore it resists rot a lot better, as well as insects. So that's another thing that really got my attention on. The flooring is another thing that is designed to withstand the elements, withstand general wear and tear, and to pretty much extend the life of the product. It's called LP Pro Strut. It is a 5/8 inch tongue and groove floor, smart guard technology. It resists decay and termites, and the smart finish provides a professional interior finish, which is, it looks more like it's grooved. It's very finely grooved, almost a little bit bigger than a fingerprint. I mean, it's got a great texture to it, and it is another reason that I decided to go with it, because I did put it on blocks, and I'll go into details on if you want one, if you're going to order one, or if you would like to order one, why. I'll give you details on what you need as far as the material and the real estate. How much you're going to need space to get it through wherever you're going to get it to. So the smart guard technology and the flooring is another thing that really persuaded me to the company itself and the product. So another potential question is, why go? Why go tiny? Well, currently I live in a 4-bedroom house, living room, formal dining room, kitchen, laundry room, and bathroom. And the laundry room is pretty good size. I mean, it can actually be another bedroom, so technically a 5-bedroom house. And it's mostly just me here, so that's just ridiculous. But I can tell you it's a 4-bedroom house, and you would think, oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, but this house is really old. The sheetrock is, in some places, has fallen, and above the sheetrock is just planks. Looks like 1x6 planks maybe that have just been laid there, and it's really dangerous, because if there was a fire, then normally what is above your sheetrock in the ceiling is just trusses, or depending on if you have a 2-story building, you have floor joists up there, or decking. So it's really not safe. As you guys know, that I was a firefighter, and still practice fire safety with my day-to-day life. So that is another thing that I really wanted to do to avoid any danger or any hazard of not only fire, but as well, like I said, every one of the bedrooms, the ceiling has fallen in, and everything is being held up with plastic sheeting as a temporary fix. So I went and priced the insulation, the sheetrock, light fixtures, light switches, all that stuff. And I priced all of it, and the price was, for me to do it myself was going to be around $10,000. So I weighed the options of, buying all this stuff and rebuilding my house, which eventually was going to go bad again, and that's just for the interior problems that I had, and I didn't even price anything for the roof itself, because I really did consider going with a total full metal roof over the house, just to add a little bit of protection. So $10,000 just for the interior work was a lot, and I know that the house alone is $7,000, but with that I can make payments over a 2-year period or 4-year period and start working on the interior immediately. So the convenience and really the potential lifespan of the shed will significantly outweigh the cost of rebuilding my house. So I've also priced all the equipment, all the gear, all the supplies that I'm going to be using to build and put up my, I guess you could say, build up my shed from a shell to a amazing home. And it is actually going to be significantly cheaper to do that. I'm going through a lot less sheetrock, a lot less insulation, a lot less wiring. Everything is just, if you would have to really think about it, everything would be just one big room rather than, 4 bedrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen, laundry room, and bathroom. So that's a total of 7 rooms that, I'm sorry, 9 rooms. Let's see, 4 bedrooms, living room, dining, kitchen, restroom, laundry room. That's 10. I don't know. I can't count. My counter is broken. But anyways, that's a lot of material that I would have to buy, and still at the end of the day, it's just me, maybe 2 people in this house. So that is a lot of unused space that really is just going to eventually go to waste. Now I have thought that I could make, my YouTube studio, which is not really much of a studio. I'm in the corner of my living room with a couple of backdrops hung up on the wall. So, I really have no use for more than 1 bedroom and the living room, kitchen, dining, and whatever. So that is actually more of a feasible, more of a logical opinion or an option for me. Okay, now I'm going to go into some detail on what you will need if you do decide to order any shed to build onto a house, or just if in general if you're ordering a shed. So what you're going to need is you're going to need to know how big the house is. Of course, that's something you're going to already pick out. For example, I wanted a 12 by 28, couldn't get a 12 by 28, so I got a 12 by 32. Because that was the next highest floor plan was 12 by 32. So regardless of how long, the main thing is how wide it's going to be. As far as height and clearance, you want at least 14 foot. I would suggest 15-foot clearance so that the delivery crew can come in safely and securely. And as far as once it's off of the truck and it's rolling into your backyard or onto your property or wherever, depending on how wide it is, for example, if you get a 10-foot wide, you want at least 12 foot of clearance on each side of the house. For example, I got a 12-foot wide, and I have sheds alongside of my house as with a not too narrow walkway between, just some space, some yard in between the house and those sheds. Um, I took a tape measure out and measured it and measured 14 feet, and I double checked, and they recommend at least 14 feet of clearance for a 12-foot wide house, and that way it can safely get back there without doing any damage to the house or your property itself. Another thing you're going to need to know is how many blocks, how many cinder blocks, and what kind of material you're going to want to get. I really wish I would have had this information 3 days ago, because um, all I could go by at the time was looking at pictures on Facebook of people's uploads of their house, and see that some people just did a concrete slab and they just set it down directly on that concrete slab. Some people did poured their own posts or pillars or piers, where either way it's all the same thing. Some people poured their own. Some people used cinder blocks, or some people used other things. It's all optional. It's all your decision. If you do decide, however, to go on any type of floor, on any type of just ground base, and you don't want to do the gravel or anything, that's completely fine. That is completely safe, and that is absolutely okay to do. Um, my sister and brother-in-law owns a manufactured house setting company, so anytime somebody buys a solitaire home, they go out and set them, and I worked for them. I also worked for Solitaire Manufacturing as well, setting houses. So I have a little bit of experience and know exactly what I want to do and how I want to go about the process. I say that I wish I had the information. I kind of, obviously, like I said, I had the experience of setting houses, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I just, because these are so different than a solitaire house or a manufactured home, um, I really wasn't 100% sure on how this was going to go. So what you're going to need is, for example, my 12 by 32. I so far it's temporary set on a single block setup. So I only had 12 blocks because I was told that I only needed 10, which was a mistake, not on my part, but as I got to thinking about it, I just knew in my mind that 10 was not enough, because there are 4 beams that go under my house, and each beam on the outside are very narrow. There's about, I would say, about 20-inch clearance between the beams. So if you were wanting to set your house, you're going to want at least 20 blocks. That way you can put 5 on each beam. And if you want to go any higher than that, if you want to go 2 blocks, say 2 blocks high, that way you can have a good enough clearance to run plumbing into the house. You'll want to double that number. So for every rail or every skid under the house, you want to do 5 blocks minimum, and each set of blocks, each set would be about 5 blocks. So let's say, for example, you're going to do 4 sets, and then you want to do a double block method, then you will have to double that number. And for example, I need, see, 5, 10, 15, I need 20 blocks. I will need to go and double that and get 40 blocks. The company that set my house also left me with some extra material, some extra treated lumber that is remnants of building these houses that they use to add, some stability, some blocks, wood blocks, to help stabilize and level the house. So as far as the concrete itself, what you will need is about at the very minimum 20 blocks, 20 cinder blocks, 20 end caps, or what they would call end caps, and it's a 8 wide by 16-inch long by 2 or 4-inch thick block that sits on top of the cinder block. And in this case, you're going to use that as a base pad or a base block. So you will set that down first and then put your cinder blocks on top of it and build your blocks up. So another thing that you're going to really want to make sure of is your ground level. Where I set my house, there was a storm cellar that was dug. The hole for a storm cellar was dug, and that extra dirt that was dug out of the hole was just laid over, on top of the ground. So it made a big hill, or small hill, near that area. So I actually had to dig that down to at least get it somewhat level, so that I could be able to set the house down exactly where I wanted it. And that was a very lucky, very fortunate situation for me, because I was able to put just the block directly under there and just shim it. So it was just tight enough that I could shim that block tight to the frame of the house. Now, it did rain last night, so as I was out there earlier sitting on the porch of the house, I could actually hear some cracking and some creaking going on, and some little snaps. And that's doing is the house is actually settling, especially after it rained last night, and I didn't have any base pads under the cinder block. Okay, so I'm going to kick back a little bit to about the beginning, where I talked about the cost and the financing and everything. And like I said before, I've been to the I've bought a car, and I was not happy with the way financing worked. And like I said, it took 8 hours from the time I walked in till the time I drove off the lot with my car. And that was just something I really did not want to go through, and that was really intimidating me on the entire process. So the day that I walked in, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe 10:30 or 11 in the morning, and I walked in with my down payment, and said, "Hey, I need to order this." And we sat down, and he got my information. He got everything he needed from me. And the payment the payment was the last thing we did. We wanted to make sure everything, they could do everything for me, give me everything I wanted, and we hashed out some things that we needed and didn't need, wanted and didn't want, and stuff like that. So I walked in at about 10:30. I think it was 11:30, because he was actually fixing to go to lunch. So I kind of interrupted his lunch break. But so we walked in about 11:30, and I said, "I need to order a shed." He said, "All right, well, let's step into my office." We get into the office, and he said, "What colors?" Before we even got into the office, we were in a little lobby area, and he said, "Well, what colors are you wanting?" I said, "I don't know. Really, honestly, it's up to me. If it's up to me, it doesn't matter. Just put one together and send it to my house." So we got to thinking. I had my heart really set on a natural wood color, just kind of the color of, wood, just the yellow color, maybe treated. And that wasn't an option because of the urethane coating. And so we finally picked out a color, the color of the urethane, as well as the color of the trim for the house, which was another option. You could either match them or do a different trim. Now, one thing I really was absolutely dead set on is the most efficiency I could get out of my heating and cooling cost. So we did go with a Galvalume, what they call Galvalume, and I believe it to be a galvanized aluminum roof. And the reason for that is it reflects the heat a lot better. in the summer to keep a cooler house. And I'm very happy and very satisfied with it. It looks like a very bright, just a clean white color in the sun. And as you saw in some of the pictures and images, pictures and video of the house, it is a it just looks white, but it's a silver, aluminum, galvanized, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's a galvanized roof is all it is. So that's one of my biggest things that I wanted to absolutely be sure of when I ordered the house. So back to the process. So we looked at some other pictures of certain styles that people have done, and we just some of the stuff we just loved. So we went ahead and got everything set up, and by the time we had processed the payment and left, it was probably about an hour and a half later. So it was probably, we walked in, for example, we walked in at 11, we were done by 1. That was the quickest, just the easiest. And most of it was just sitting BSing, talking about you guys, talking about my YouTube channel, talking about my viewers, and talking about, social media and some of the stuff, some of the Facebook groups that we're in, some of the pictures and some of the ideas that people have had, and just BS. And so I'm pretty sure that if I would have walked in there, kept my mouth shut, because I'm a talker and you guys know that, walked in, kept my mouth shut, picked out our colors, sent the payment out, we would have been done in maybe 45 minutes. So a lot of that was just BS and just hanging out and just getting to know the guy, him getting to know us, getting to know the community, and having a good time with it. So for it being about an hour and a half, it was just a great experience all around, and I'm very happy with my dealership, and the company as a whole. I'm very satisfied, and this is not by any means a promotion for the dealership or the company. This is just my thoughts, my overall experience on the entire situation. And I do highly, highly recommend Premier Portable Buildings for this. And again, I'm not getting paid anything. I'm not getting paid any, compensation for saying these things. I'm taking this I'm doing this video under my own free will as an opinion to other viewers, to other people that are interested in the whole buying a prefabricated building idea. So I think that's going to do it for this video. I do really want to give a big shout out to Premier and Henrietta Building Sales for the awesome product that they just gave. I mean, it's just amazing for the awesome product that I was able to acquire. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of a boring one. It's just all it is me talking. But, for those of you that might be interested in what you want to look for, I hope that this really gives you a little bit of an insight as to the process of the situation. So basically what I'm saying is you've had this idea in your mind for a while. For example, I've had my idea in my mind since I was in high school, and I've always thought about it. I always thought about it. Do it. Stop thinking about it and do it. Just go do it. I walked in $200 and walked out 3 weeks later. My house is here. It did take a little bit long, but that's because like I said, as a custom built house, I wanted a couple things custom. Really quick before I go, I wanted to let you guys know that in Oklahoma, the max without an escort on the road is 12 foot. So in order for it to be a little bit of a cheaper delivery, the house is actually under 12 foot. I believe it's 11 and a half wide. I haven't got the tape measure out and measured, but it is really under 12 foot. And he said, all right, here's the deal. Do you want to go with the 7 foot roof or the 6.5? I'm not quite sure. I think it was 6.5 foot walls. I'm sorry, not the roof. 6.5 foot roof or walls. And I thought about it. I was like, we'll just leave it. He said, well, the reason I'm asking you is because that shortage that they're going to have to compensate for on the road will actually benefit you, because you will be basically getting an upgrade, an 8-foot roof for free, or an 8-foot wall, 8-foot walls for free for the as the package. So just immediately I was like, yeah, let's do that, and that gives me a chance to, drop the loft down about another foot and give a better sleeping quarter, square footage in sleeping quarter. So I did that. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys really enjoy the the journey that I'm going through, and I hope you guys stick with me and just support me. And I know you guys will, because I love you all. You guys are amazing. You guys are just a great set of viewers, and I just love you guys. I couldn't ask for a better group of viewers. So if you haven't already, if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification button, because throughout the days and throughout the process of getting my house set up and together, and then clearing off the land and all that other stuff, I will be putting videos up maybe on a daily basis. So I really hope you guys enjoy what you guys are going to see, and I hope you guys will enjoy what you have seen already. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Check out my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Actually, don't even check out my Twitter. I don't use it very much. So check out my Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all my social media links are going to be down there below in the description and links. I also place a link to Henrietta Building Sales in the bottom in the description, so that you guys can check that out as well. Also, I will put a link to Premier Portable Buildings in the description as well, so you guys can check that out. I really appreciate everything you guys do, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos that are coming soon. Have a good night, stay safe, and keep